Sup? It's Alex Grimm, and I decided to use one of my videos here as a desktop background. You can tell it's my desktop background because here's my Nexus Ultimate dock. In any case, yeah, it's more appropriate than sexy backgrounds that would get me deleted in a fucking second. That's what I really use. Yeah, I'd like to preface this New Year's video by saying that I've drank quite a bit of Loko, Fourloko, Loko, and it's like 12% alcohol, and it's pretty strong. Tastes pretty strong too. But yeah, and hey, you know, there's something special about this one. This is the first video I've made in Alabama. So, yeah, I've moved to Alabama. I'm not in Texas anymore. And fucking, by the way, if it seems a little laggy here in the background, that's because I'm screen capping this with a tube catcher. Fuck, I just had a can of Four Lokos tipped over on the ground. Good thing I didn't spill anything out of it. I drank too much of it. But, yeah. So, yeah, this is definitely up on my vlog channel. If I put this up on my regular channel, I'd have my subscribers, like, unsubscribing in droves and shit. They're like, you know, where's the effects that we're used to, like this shit you're seeing here and shit like that, man. I mean, you know, this shit took me, like, just for that fucking Jedi training remote, fucking, I spent like 2 days straight fucking cutting that out of the original Star Wars movie in Sony Vegas, like, masking it out. And then fucking, fuck, I spent like fucking, God, a week on all those saber effects. And then I had to learn how to fucking work shit in fucking After Effects to make that fucking Jedi training remote move like that up against the fucking background like that and shit. And fucking, yeah, this was no easy feat. This was the end of 2010 that I made this. And, like, I'm 3 times the editor that I am back then. But, like, I remember what it took to make this. And I used all the techniques that I learned in making this, in making my secret channel videos that I've, like, made over $10,000 from on YouTube. This video, I didn't make a dime on this video. But fucking, anyway, yeah. So I spent like 2 weeks just like fucking making this. And this was just supposed to be the intro to like a 10-minute long Grimm video. And I just gave up. I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter how good the fucking video is. You know, people just want to see some pretty boy or fucking some chick showing off their tits and shit like that. It's a very shallow site, you know. I mean, people respect good effects, like, you know, Freddie Wong, like, style effects and all that fucking shit, but you gotta have a real audience behind you for them to, like, for you to really get some views from them and shit like that. You know, other than that, you're gonna make this shit and it's just gonna fucking get swept on the rug, man. You're gonna waste your fucking time and shit. And that's what I did here. This was like fucking, I just, like, uploaded this with, like, some comedic ending that might have been too hardcore for people. And fucking, yeah, I just fucking wasted my fucking time. Fucking. In any case, yeah, I've been drinking some Four Loko. It's New Year's Eve, 2012. And I was listening to some Mike Savage earlier. Fucking, yeah, I mean, you know, I've listened to a lot of talk radio. There was a time when my hands were like fucking deep in the clay and the plaster and the resin and shit like that before YouTube existed, that I was just like sculpting because my primary talent is drawing and I wanted to bring those designs into the real world by sculpting them into the real world. That's why, you know, I don't show a lot of my drawings and shit like that, because I don't want to give away any of my designs. I want to make sure that I've got it in sculpture on shelves before anyone knows, like, the secret cool designs that Alex Grimm has used for fucking years. Some of them, like my dragon and shit like that, had been like, yeah, I used to draw that on my desk when I was like 13 and shit. Fucking, you know, I mean, but yeah, fucking, so like, you know, I was, you know, I've been deep into sculpture and shit like that before YouTube existed. Fucking, and you know, so, but I decided to make fucking video, and it fucking, I don't know, it just fucking took me, you know. It was like, you know, 2006, I was making shit on a high 8 that I thought was going to be movies, and they were good scripts, they were good movies that I could do just by myself. I had just everything barely that I needed to pull this off. And I was like amazed that fucking, you know, I could pull this story off with just the fucking small shit that I had. And, but, you know, that script, that particular script that I was working on, it was like, fucking, I shot half of it, and then I had to move away from the area, and I didn't have that fucking, scene anymore, that fucking setting, that location, and so I couldn't finish filming it and shit like that. But, you know, I've got a great one that I fucking had just back in 2006, and I wrote tons of them before that. Okay, and since that, I mean, honestly, all these fucking people that talk about, you know, all these fucking kids on YouTube that have, like, scammed their way to the top and hustled their way with other YouTubers that have fucking scammed their way to the top, talking about making their movie and shit like that. I'm like, good luck with that, kid. Because you're just, like, some fucking hustling little fucking kid that's fucking, yeah, I don't care, like Michael Gallagher and shit like that. Dude, I don't fucking care if you were the fucking head of your fucking filmmaking class or some fucking shit, dude. You ain't got nothing on Grimm. Fucking big time. Anyway, fucking, but yeah, fucking, so like these fuckers talk about how they're gonna make these movies and shit, and I'm just like, dude, before you even uploaded your first fucking video, I could fucking, if I had cast and crew that you just fucking take for granted, I could fucking put out shit that's fucking award-winning, dude. Don't even talk your fucking shit to me. Don't talk up your fucking subscribers and audience and shit to me. You fuck your fucking ass. Anyway, but yeah, they go on and they think that they're fucking hot shit. Them and their fucking friends are the lords of fucking YouTube and shit. It's just a fucking joke, dude. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. Anyway, so yeah, I was listening to Mike Savage. And, like, you know, back when I was deep into sculpting and, you know, I didn't want to watch TV, I was too busy sculpting and shit, I'd listen to talk radio. I had, like, a fucking Walkman, and I'd listen to fucking talk radio. And I'd especially listen to Coast AM, which is, like, you know, about, like, the bizarre and the strange. It's about fucking, you know, Bigfoot and Atlantis and aliens and secret societies, the Illuminati and all that fucking shit, okay? Fucking, you know, about 2012. I was hearing about 2012 back in, like, 2001 before anyone knew what the fuck it was, you know? I mean, about the mid-2000s, late 2000s, people knew what 2012 meant and shit like that, but fucking, you know, I knew about it way back, so seeing, like, this 2012 shit not pan out has been, like, fucking great, because, you know, I've had them on that show, like, talking about 2012 for fucking close to 10 fucking years and shit, you know, I mean, I stopped listening to that show, by the way, like, fucking, like, 2009 or some fucking shit. I just heard it so fucking much, and, like, for so many years, it was, like, the same old fucking shit. I was just waiting for shit to fucking happen, but fucking, you know, really, if you haven't heard fucking Coast to Coast AM, you should probably go check it out. It's the biggest nighttime radio show in North America, and, like, it's heard worldwide. They've got all sorts of fucking cool shit on there, fucking, and you could be really fucking informed. Some of the most informed people on this planet just listen to that show. All right, so fucking, you know, I've listened to it for fucking years, like, so much that I just stopped listening to it. Anyway, so I was listening to the radio, and outside of Coast to Coast AM, you know, way back when, like, I'd listen to, like, Air America, and fucking, you know, with like Al Franken and Randy Rhoads and all that fucking shit, stuff like that. You know, and I'm middle of the road. I'm independent. I'm not fucking liberal or conservative. So I listen to like political talk radio, both sides. I listen to the Ditto Heads on fucking Rush Limbaugh and fucking all these other motherfuckers and shit. Let's see what I listen to. I listen to like Tony Snow and Bill O'Reilly and fucking Alan Combs. Fucking, I liked Alan Combs, but it's like every time I tuned into him, it's like right at the end of a show because I was like through listening to Coast AM and shit, you know. But even though he's liberal and shit like that, I kind of like Alan Combs. He was nice to listen to. But fucking, but out of all of them, like later on in the day when I was asleep and shit, and I like might wake up in the middle of my sleep and I couldn't go back to sleep, I was like, you know, hey, it might be time to listen to Mike Savage. And Mike Savage was my second favorite radio show to listen to. I listened to Coast AM like religiously with Art Bell and George Norrie and shit. Fucking, but if it was that particular time of day when I was supposed to be sleeping but I was up, I'd tune into Mike Savage. And I love listening to Mike Savage. His experience and shit like that was just fucking cool. You know, I mean, I can see people like fucking, like SxePhil and shit like that trying to be fucking, you know, Mike Savage and shit. It's like, you know, dude, you're like a 20-something that doesn't have Mike Savage's experience. Fucking, you know, stop trying to fucking be Mike Savage, you know, I mean, your opinions are slightly flawed because you're so young and shit like that, you know, I mean, you know, there was a time when I thought maybe, you know, SxePhil might be part of my future, you know, and I'd be able to do effects for him and fucking, like, console him, like, anytime he fucking wanted. Like, you know, he's putting out a video and I, like, listen to it before he puts it out and shit. Fucking maybe console him, like, on, like, some certain fucking views that he has and shit like that. Like, some, like, extra shit he should throw in and shit just for, like, people like me or the opposition that might think he's, like, some liberal loon or some fucking shit, you know, I mean, just like, you know, dude, you shouldn't say that. You should, like, fucking, like, end it off by saying this and shit just so you fucking don't alienate that fucking demographic and all that fucking shit. Anyway, so I'd listen to Mike Savage and shit, and I liked his experience, you know. I mean, like SxePhil, he's like from the same part. I think he's like from like Brooklyn, you know, and SxePhil's from like the Bronx and shit like that, you know. I mean, SxePhil could be a young Michael Savage, who fucking knows, okay? You know, but I like listening to Michael Savage and shit. You know, sometimes he'd like fucking it's cool, like during the breaks he'd have bumper music and it was like fucking old school Metallica, like before they fucking sold out and shit. Yeah, I can play it myself. Fuck, I learned that shit back when I was like 16 and shit, back when St. Dawson was born and shit. Let's see here if I play it. No, fucking, this webcam's like, it doesn't pick it up very well. I'd have to mic it up with the camera and shit like that. Fucking, but I can play that shit. Fucking, I've forgotten more fucking guitar shit than a lot of guitar players know and shit, but I still know that. Fucking, it's like a real simple riff and shit. Fucking, let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna mic it up. Hang on. Just hang on a fucking second. I'll mic it up. I'll hook my amp up and I'll mic it up and shit like that, and I'll play it for you. Just hang on. Alright, here we go. Through my Black Warlock guitar with a real Floyd Rose and a fucking Bugera amp. Anyway, that's about as much as Michael Savage fucking plays on his show and shit. Fucking, I don't need to go through the whole fucking song. Metallica wrote those riffs so that they can play them when they're drunk and shit like that, you know, so, you know, I'm able to demonstrate that for you and shit. But yeah, I just might end it here. So, yeah, Grim out.